Hey,
Hello. I'm sorry I'm late, I guess.
not late. I just happened to sit down right at 10:30.
Hmm. How are you?
I'm cold. Why is it so
Yeah.
cold?
Is
I
it
have
cold?
a sweater and a shirt on. Hop into it.
How was your weekend?
It was good. Yeah, it was. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made. You want to see the ugliest cake alive?
Oh, I think I saw it on your
Oh, on
Instagram.
my Instagram, it was so ugly. Like,
I
uh,
mean, did it taste good?
it tasted good. It
That's
did.
all that counts.
I know. You know what? You know what's so funny? Keyshawn, he's the only person I let follow me on Instagram. I don't know how that happened. Because I don't let them. But he changed his his handle to. I'm gonna just type it in the chat because I can't even. I'm gonna type it. I'm not gonna type it in the chat. I'm gonna text it to you.
Okay.
I don't want to say it out loud. I don't want anyone else to hear it.
Now I'm nervous.
And then
What?
I know he messaged me about it, and I didn't know that he changed his name. I had no idea who it was because it didn't used to be that. And I had to look at his profile to see who it was. And I'd forgotten I'd made him cookies when he graduated. And so he actually has had my baking before. And he was like, if you make it, I'll eat it. So I was like, this must be someone I know. It's
That's so funny.
very funny. My best friend just goes, something with a lumpy look and the name Kurt is simply a challenge. But I'm
Yeah, that's crazy. Did your mom enjoy it at least?
bitch.
That's good. Yeah, we made brunch for my mom yesterday. We had like a HelloFresh. They had like a special box that was like a Mother's Day meal. So it was like pancakes and a salad with blood oranges and like a vinaigrette. It was actually really good.
Wow. That sounds really good. So you did like a brunch.
Yeah, it was cool. And we played our first show of 2021 on Friday, and
How did it go?
I mean, miraculously, it did not rain at all. So
That's awesome.
we got to play the whole show, and it was sold out, and everybody loved it, and the band sounded really good, I thought. So
That's awesome.
it was cool, but everybody was like we were all just so stressed. Like even when we got there to like set up and sound check because of the weather, we were just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And
That's
then it got to the like once it hit that point in our set where everybody realized kind of like, oh, it's not gonna rain. Like it was just kind of like, it was no holds barred at that point. So it was fun. We had a good time. Felt good to get back at it. So now we have a few things coming up in June, and then we got to start getting ready now for that show in July that
that's
hopefully you'll attend.
wait, tell me when it is again.
July 9th.
July 9th. Okay, good. And can you send me the link? We will buy tickets.
The ticket link? Yeah, I'll do it right now. Because it doesn't look like I'll be teaching much this morning.
How many kids did you have last term? I mean last
Last period,
yeah.
I had, I think, I had four, I think. I had, Faye was the first one that joined. So it was just me and her for a little bit.
Oh
And
wait, who
then,
is Octavian? Who?
oh, Fayana.
Oh, Faye. Yeah, yeah.
So she joined first, and then Tehran joined. Um, and then Amir joined. So I had those three, and we did kind of like a little community meeting thing, which was good. And then I was like, all right, we'll take a 5 minute break, and then we'll come back, and I'll go over the new stuff that's due, and I'll just give you guys, we'll just have like a work day because I know people are trying to get caught up on stuff, and the last progress report is due Friday. So, it's getting to that point in the term where it's like more like work on all your checkpoints versus like actually teaching stuff because you just want them to get them all done.
Just
So
finish.
then Mira disappeared and never came back, and then Teron and Faye like became silent. But then thankfully Ayana Sawyer joined.
Hey, that's my girl.
Yeah, she joined a little bit after that and at least started working on the one assignment. And she was like, I need help on the other two checkpoints. Can I come to the lab? And I was like, yep, I'll be there like I always am when nobody shows up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just waiting for you guys.
I don't other teachers are like I know Hicks and I think maybe Christina, like they send out reminders for the lab just like they do for the morning.
Mhm.
And I probably should, but I also like tell them verbally in class almost every day, like, hey, if you need help, I'll be in the lab. It's the same link you use for class. And
You can also try it and see.
that would be enough.
Right. But no, it's obviously not.
Right.
I don't know. That's crazy.
All right, let me try and find this. What else did you do this weekend?
Let's see. Yeah. And then Saturday. My cousin was up for so I live with my cousin and her twin came up and visited.
You did
She
say
was
that,
there
yeah.
the weekend.
Are
So
they identical twins?
they're not fraternal twins. We had dinner reservations on Friday night, and then we all did not feel like going, so we just ordered food and stayed in and laughed and watched. God, they had me watching The Vampire Diaries, which I'm not super thrilled about. But I do it just because they both love it so much. So I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna like take this away from you. But it's stupid because one of them has seen the whole thing already. The other one is like way ahead of me, and I've seen like 2 episodes, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So bad. I think I told you that.
That's all right. Friday, we played the show, and Andy went and sat with all of our friends that live kind of up there. And then I didn't even get to see all of them because they came a little bit later. Like kind of right when we started. And then they left like right away, and we were like breaking stuff down and running back and forth, so I didn't get to see any of them. And then they went back to um our friends Serena and Caitlin's, they were there and they went back to their apartment because they were roommates. And we're like hanging out there, and because Andy called me when we were like packing up, and she was like, hey, we're all going back there because like people have to pee and we're cold and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool. I don't know like what I'm doing yet, but I'll text you and let you know. And that was gonna be the plan. And then everybody in my band and the other band that we played with, who we're friends with, were like, let's go to the Fun House, which is like a local bar there that I really haven't been to like for real since we went there once or twice like in the summer,
Mhm.
last summer, but it was when like you had to order food and sit at a table and blah blah blah. So this is like the first like almost for real time back since like the pandemic started.
Yeah.
They were all going there. So I was like, and this was the first show back and we hadn't, seen each other, in each band and like gone out. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go. And I know none of my other friends like that bar too, because it's like a little more divey and you can smoke there. So a lot of people aren't into that.
You can
Um,
smoke there. Interesting.
yeah. So I went there and then came back to our friend's apartment around like 1 in the morning, and they were all like, we're committed to raging tonight. Like, let's drink and play game, blah blah blah. And I was just like I just got so exhausted because I also didn't really eat a lot on Friday. I had like a banana in the morning, and that was like it. And
Yeah.
then I like played the show, and so then I stopped at McDonald's on the way back to. So you finish checkpoints 1 and 2. Then what you want to be focusing on is clicking on checkpoint 3 where it says art piece proposal, and then the first thing you want to do is scroll down to where you see art proposal brainstorm. All right.
And I just want to say really quickly that I started the recording again since we paused it. And I feel like we have to say that out loud. So,
Oh, okay.
so it's recording again.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Excuse me. So you see what says art proposal brainstorm. If you click that, it'll look like this. And we kind of went over this a little bit last week, I think. But again, this is kind of a brainstorm activity to help you come up with the art piece that you're going to use for your final project, final product. Because remember, this whole project is about the ways we think about love and how we express our thoughts and feelings about love, how we define it. So we read two short stories where the authors express their thoughts and feelings about love through their writing and the different ways in which they write. You're going to kind of do the same thing through, one of these, right? So this brainstorm was just kind of designed to help you kind of get some ideas to get that started. And we talked about these different types of figurative language, metaphor, simile, personification, right? So I believe you can find all that stuff on the YouTube recording from last week. So just fill this out, follow the prompts, and fill them out in the boxes. You can be as detailed as you want, all right? And when you finish this, then you can go back to Summit and click on the actual checkpoint right here, art piece proposal, right? Which is where you're essentially going to just outline what your art piece for your final product is going to be. You're going to tell me in complete sentences, what's your message about love, right? So what are you kind of going to try to get? What's the point you're going to try to get across about love in this art piece? What is the kind of art form and the types of figurative language you might use? Right. And then kind of give me a basic um, sketch or outline of your art piece. So if you're making like more of like a painting or a picture or anything like that, you can kind of sketch it out. If you're going to do something more written, like maybe a rap or a poem or a song or an essay or anything like that, you can kind of give me a general outline of what that's going to be here, right? And then when all three of these boxes are filled in, you can request feedback and you'll be done with checkpoint 3, right? Questions so far on any of that stuff?
No, but I got like something to say.
What's up?
I just was thinking about it. Like, I feel like the reason why a heart symbolizes love is because when you love somebody and you hurt by them, like you really feel it in your heart.
I think that is a very, very good point, Zenelia, and something you may want to keep in mind as you're thinking about what can I express in my art piece for my final project. But yeah, I mean, that phrase, we say, oh, I have a broken heart, something like that. We say that for a reason, right? And like, I think the reason why, and Miss Kelsey can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the reason why you wear a wedding ring on your left ring finger is because that's the only finger that has a vein that runs directly to your heart, and so it's kind of like that's why we put the ring on that finger. But yeah, and that's a really good
I
idea.
never knew that.
Yeah, again, don't quote me on that, but I have heard that at some point before that's why it's that specific finger. But yeah, I
Hmm.
think that's a really good point. Do people agree that that's why we have hearts as a symbol for love?
Wait, say that again.
Zanelle, you was saying that we use the heart as a symbol for love. Like think about all Valentine's Day stuff, right? We use that as
Hmm.
a symbol for love because when you're in love with somebody and then it ends or they leave or something like that, it physically hurts your heart, and that's why we kind of use that as a symbol. So I was asking if we agree or we kind of think something a little bit different, or just what our thoughts are.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think so too.
Cause yeah, that's where it hurts the most, like she said.
Hmm.
Should I start at checkpoint 1 though?
So that's a really good question, Denise. That's what I was just going to talk about next. Thank you. So if you are all caught up on checkpoints 1 and 2, you can be working on the stuff we just went over for checkpoint 3. If you are still behind on checkpoints 1 and 2, which again, I'll show you real quick, they're both very similar. So each has kind of two different tasks. Like this checkpoint 1 is, this chart and the fill in the blanks. And then checkpoint 2 is this matching and then the open-ended right here. And they each have a short story that goes along with them that you can access right from Summit. So here's the one for checkpoint 2. And then here's the one for checkpoint 1, get to the Magi text. So what I would do if you're behind on one or both of these is I would actually start with the stuff for checkpoint 3, because this is a little bit won't take as long to kind of get finished because you don't need to read a story to go along with it, and you'll also have it done for Friday when the progress report stuff is due. And then once you finish the art proposal brainstorm and the art proposal for checkpoint 3, then I would go back and I would do checkpoints 1 and 2. And as you're going back to work on these, I would start with looking at some of the YouTube recordings, because I go over them in pretty good detail. Give a lot of examples of how to get started that you can use to help yourself get started as well. And then if you still are struggling with them, you can always come see me in the Summit Lab and we can read through the story together, or if you have questions, you can ask me there. And that's kind of the way I would do it. Does that answer your question, Denise?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So, ladies, we have about 15 or so minutes left. All right. I will give you guys that time to work on whatever you need to work on. Like I said, I would try and focus on the checkpoint 3 stuff. All right. The art art piece proposal brainstorm, which is under checkpoint 3, and then checkpoint 3 itself, which is the art piece proposal, right? I would start there, and then if you finish those, go back and try to get caught up on checkpoints 1 and 2 if you're still missing those. All right. Still plenty of time though to get everything done before the end of the term. Okay. Questions on anything that I went over that's due, how to do it, anything like that? Cool.
I'm gonna need like some one-on-one help with checkpoint what 2.
With checkpoint 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to jump into a breakout room right now real quick, Zenalia, or would you rather come to the lab in the afternoon?
I'm gonna do a leg.
Lab? All right, no worries. I will be there today. I'll be there today from 1 to 3. Also
You said what time?
from 1 to from 1 to 3 today, as
Okay.
well as every other day this week except Wednesday.
Same link as you just joined.
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
same link as
What's Amanda?
Oh, my goodness.
My baby had a little fever last night.
I can barely hear you talking over her. Zenalia, what'd you say?
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Oh,
Zenalia.
I said my baby had a little fever last night.
Oh no.
Scary, isn't it?
So she's not feeling well.
Yeah, well, I hope she feels better soon. But yeah, Zenalia, that's fine. If you
Thank
need some help with checkpoint 2, one-on-one, then I will be in the lab, no problem, this week.
Okay, thank you.
You are very welcome. All right. So I will be here in the chat on mute as y'all try to work through the rest of this stuff with the time we have left. And then we'll wrap it up in about 10 or 12 minutes from now and see if anybody has questions or anything. Okay. And if you do have a question as you're going, feel free to put it in the chat or give me a shout. Okay. All right. Thank you. How are we doing? Questions on anything?
Mr. V, how do you copy and paste on here?
How do you copy and paste? Are you on? You're saying, are you on Summit?
Yes.
You should be able to just do it like you normally would, like highlight it, and then Control C for copy, and then Control V for paste. Did that work?
You said Control C.
Yeah, here, I'll put it in the chat. Let me know if that works. How about anybody else? Questions, concerns? No? All right, awesome. Keep up the good work, and then we'll wrap it up in about 5 minutes here. Miss Kelsey, have you finalized the puppy selection yet?
You know, I had like a little like a virtual meetup to see if I was a good match, and I haven't heard back yet. But that was only for one of the four.
You get a
so-
virtual meetup with the puppy?
No, with like the company the
Oh,
nonprofit that runs the the whole thing. So we'll
Right.
see.
and that was
Yeah.
just with one of them.
That was just with one of the
And you applied for how many?
four. But they only match you with one. Like a lot of people apply for more than one.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Are these these rescues that you're doing?
Yes. They're all like really, really cute little rescues.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What kind of puppies are they?
They're sort of mixes, mostly like herding mixes with labs. Yeah. So a little bit of everything. You never really know when you rescue, I think. But yeah. They're very cute. They're very young and very small.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see.
Well, good luck in your search.
Thank you.
All right, give it a few minutes and then we'll check back in one more time and we'll wrap up. All right, y'all. Any other questions or concerns before we wrap up here? I know a lot of you are working on the brainstorm stuff, so really good job. Keep that going. We'll try and work on this again when we come back on Thursday. We'll look at a couple examples of, pieces of art about love to kind of give you guys some examples for your final product that will kind of help you if you are still kind of working through your brainstorm or unsure what you want to do. And then we'll work on this again, and then I want to be looking for it for this brainstorm and the checkpoint 3 on your progress report that'll come out next week. And then after that, we only have, I think, 3 weeks left in term 4. So we are getting close to the end, y'all. It is coming.
That's for sure. Hang in there, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You'll be so proud of yourselves when you pass.
For sure, for sure. All right, and before you know it, it'll be time for Loki. All right, y'all. Any other questions before we go?
All I heard was Loki, and I got all excited.
Of course it is.
I'm
She
sure
has
of
a
that.
filter in her brain for Loki.
I know. I should start saying Loki every other word when I'm teaching a lesson, so that way I know Shirley will be paying attention.
Yeah, that's a good idea. There's 42 days left to Loki, so yeah.
You're too funny.
All right, y'all. Thank you again. I will be in the lab today from 1 to 3, along with every other day this week except Wednesday. It's the same link for this class. Just make sure you're working on this stuff to get caught up. Okay. And then if you have a question outside of that, don't be afraid to shoot me an email or a message. Let me know. All right. Anything else before we go?
I'll talk to you guys.
No.
Bye.
All right.
Give me a
Thank you.
call.
Good job. And I will see you next time.
Okay.
See you.
Bye.